Hello everybody, this is 25 Invested, and today we are going to look at what a halal portfolio is on Wealthsimple. This is something that came up a little while ago, and I was curious about it because it seemed a little, I don't know, I guess a little funny, something I'd never heard of, or something that I didn't even think was a thing. And apparently there are rules to these portfolios, or rather this portfolio, because it is just one ETF that they are offering. What is halal investing? Halal investing are in companies that are in line with the Islamic principle of investing. A lot of controversial investment products aren't compliant, so they actually exclude quite a lot of stocks in here, and we will go through what you hold when you own this ETF. So we'll go to Wealthsimple Halal Investing. And we did click on learn more because this was a little more intriguing. It says every company in our fund does not derive more than 5% of their income from alcohol, tobacco, pork related products, weapons, and banking or insurance companies, and adult entertainment. So a lot of sin stocks and a lot of banking and insurance, financial, the whole financial sector, and we will go into that more so in just a moment. We include only high quality global Sharia. I could be butchering that name entirely. I'm very sorry to anyone I've disappointed in that pronunciation. Stocks in a broad set of sectors. So this is actually a very diverse ETF. So I did click learn more, and then we will go over to our next one. Obviously everything here is on Wealthsimple. So Wealthsimple Sharia World Equity Index ETF, WSHR. So that's what they're offering. This is the index ETF. No more than 5%. We already more or less read that. It is at $27, and it did have a 52-week low of $22.63. So about right, actually, it's not doing that bad. And we will take a look at why it isn't doing that bad in just a moment. So if we look at the industry weighting of this portfolio, we could see that financials are at 2.7%. That is vastly different than, just a very standard broad market based ETF. Banks are huge, and if you cut them out almost entirely, then the dynamic of your entire portfolio just changes so much. XEQT was around, I think, 12%. In financials when I was looking at it, and I thought I was financial heavy, and then I look at this thing and there's zero financials. Not zero, but 2.7%. It is the lowest allocation. Consumer staples, industrials, healthcare, materials. Those are your big four at 12.4%. Everything else is quite a bit smaller, actually. Real estate is abysmal. So we'll go down geographical weight, and this one actually I'm a little disappointed. It is 33% in America, and 17% in Japan, which I thought, it just caught me off guard. I was expecting Canada to be number 2. Canada isn't even in the top 5. I think it is 5 actually. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so Canada is in the top 5, but it is less than a third of the United States. So very a little disappointing, honestly, and it's just barely in the top 5. So for Wealthsimple, I was a little it's a little wild to see that they're not supporting their own country. Not supporting their own country, I guess that's a kind of a terrible way to say it, but I'm just surprised that they're not biased to their own country. So it is America, it is Japan, and quite a bit in Switzerland, and then everything else falls off quite dramatically. Luxembourg, 0.04%. That's, where is that? Luxembourg. I'm going to Google that later. Top holdings. So these are the top holdings. As you can see, the top holding, Hong Kong, China and Gas, and NEWT as SA. I don't know where that is. Are at 1% each. So that means that their top holding is only 1% of their portfolio, and then it goes diminishingly from there by, I would assume, a substantial amount. So we can actually take a look at what stocks are in this portfolio, and we can just slow, I guess maybe a slow scroll so everyone can see. We have again top holdings, NEST, CLP holdings. You won't see, like I didn't see Bank of America, Walmart's in here, Johnson Johnson, Link REIT. I was Procter and Gamble. So we do have big names here. We do have big names, Coca-Cola Co. But as we will see in the next section, the way that they diversify is a little, it's strange. It's strange to say the least. We'll just leave this, let this scroll out. Over hundreds of names here. It is very diverse, and that's cool. That is very, oh, Visa's in here. That is interesting. Less than a fraction of a percent though. By the time we're down here, Alphabet's in here too. Lower than Visa, which is even more impressive. So they don't make any money from these companies off of, or hardly any money off these companies based on loans. So that's a big reason why financial is so low in this portfolio, is because of loans. They're not allowed to make money off them. So after this, we will take a look at, oh, there you go. We found it helpful, thank you. We'll take a look at what impure income means. So I had to Google this because if we look at our, they have a dividend breakdown here, and the dividend breakdown is in two different sections. So let's see, there it is. So the dividend breakdown is in two different sections. We have the dividend, the actual dividend amount per share, and we could say 2012 we're looking at 11 cents, 11.1 cent. And then if we go over here, there's the impure ratio, and then the impure dividend amount per share. So impure in this case means money from loans. So if we go down here, then we could say that $0.000075, so less than a fraction of a cent, is from impure dividends based on per share amount. So if we go over to here, we can take a little read again. Thank you, Islamicstock.in, a little blog site helping clarify the situation. We could say that interest, generally income, money earned from individual companies for lending their funds and putting them into a deposit amount in a bank or purchasing certificates of deposits. So they're not, that's what it is. That's what's impure. So anything that doesn't fall under money, that any money that is gained that isn't falling under Islamic rule is considered impure, and that's where you get those numbers from, and that's why they are so low, is because this fund, although it can't be 100%, is trying its best to make sure that the impure amount is so low. We'll leave this page. You can pause the video here if you'd like, and you can take a little read through. And yeah, thank you, this guy. I'm not gonna try to recite that name. I don't want to disappoint people. Now if we look at Wealthsimple on the, where is this, market and research.td. So we're on Toronto Dominion, and we're going to take a look at, you know, what is this about. It shows me the exact same that Wealthsimple was showing me, but I would like to point you in the direction of MER, which is what I was mostly here for. I want to make sure that they weren't overcharging for this ETF, because it's a good idea, and I just didn't want to see like 1% or 1.5% MER. And MER in this case is 0.56%, which is pretty good. That's that would be like a very low bank fee. That's not as low as most globally diverse ETFs, but with the management of this portfolio needing to be something a little more special, then it makes sense that the MER is more substantial. So at 0.5% MER, this is like, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good expense ratio or management ratio that I just wasn't expecting that. Anyways, I hope this sheds a little bit of light on what the Sahari compliant ETF. I hope this sheds a little light on what that is and why they have it. It's a little more unique. It's the first one in Canada, and you know, I just wonder if there's as much need for it as Wealthsimple sees, and I hope it does well. Bye now.